What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today, I want to talk about a few different items and what they're doing, but I also want to have a larger discussion on Pokemon investing, where the hobby's at in terms of popularity, and just kind of the mindset of the general consumer that does enter the space. And I think something that a lot of people overlook, which I find interesting at least, is going to Google Trends and kind of just staring at certain terms and how they're doing, at least in the moment. And you can do all time as well. These are the all time graphs. For example, this is the Pokemon investing one. You can see you didn't really have anything before like 2017. You did have a couple spikes back here in 06 and 09, but for the most part, it really started, I think, around Pokemon Go. And it wasn't a super popular search term going through 2018, 2019. Once we got into COVID, that definitely popped up a little bit. And then we found a new higher baseline. And since then, moving into 2024, things did start to climb. 2025, as the year started, it got even a little bit higher. But you can see since about the middle of this year, Pokemon investing has really taken off. It's become a more popular thing. But if you look at about the past 90 days or so, if we can do this, you can see that there has been a decrease in the amount of searches, and especially over the past, I'd say, week and a half. But this really aligns with what we've been seeing in the hobby over the past few months, is that there was a massive increase in popularity. If you looked at a lot of the Pokemon investing channels, huge growth. But since maybe like the end of September, early October, things have just kind of fallen off a cliff. Less people are interested in this. And this really coincides with a lot of other things going on in society. So I think when you look at wider markets, people are definitely concerned about the stability of them. For example, if you look at the market collapse term on Google Trends, we are at an all-time high in the search. And you can see there was a fairly normal baseline. You'd have spikes every now and then when things were going on, like 2015. Obviously, during COVID, it was up there. 2022, I imagine this would be early 2023. And then nowadays, right? So people are a bit worried about things. And generally, when that happens, people tend to turn towards safer investments. And unfortunately, at the same time, people are also having difficulties feeding their families. Cost of living is going up. For example, food bank. If you look this up, you can see basically every year there's a spike, and this is around December. I think this is a time where some people might be using food banks, but also donating to them and stuff like that, maybe volunteering or whatever. We had a spike here. I'm pretty sure this was during COVID. That makes sense. And then now, right? We're not in December yet. We're not even close. September 2025, August 2025, and onwards, this is becoming a more searched thing. People are having to use food banks, unfortunately, at insane rates. Even here in Canada, I think it's like 1 in 5 people have food insecurity, and it makes sense when everything continues to go up like 25% a year, especially poultry, other types of meat like beef and pork. And at the same time, this is leading to people wanting to leave their countries as well. For example, this is just the United States. Again, I don't really want to get political on the channel, but it is important to consider these factors, right? So once Trump took office, after that, we've seen this increase. And with the government shutdown right now, people being upset that government employees aren't being paid, maybe they're not getting their benefits, it makes sense why people are looking at other options. And all of this means that people don't have economic stability, or they don't have a high level of confidence in the economy currently. And when that happens, people aren't going to be spending a lot of money on Pokemon, right? They're not really going to be worried about investing into Pokemon. And this isn't just in the US either. For example, up here in Canada, at least in my province, British Columbia, over the past month or so, there's been some very scary court rulings about land ownership. A lot of this has to do with the Indigenous groups that were here making claims on public land now that have private estates on them. So at this point, considering a lot of people own homes in Canada and it's a large portion of their net worth, I can see why people, even in my country, would be concerned. Not even just the US, right? In Canada and other parts of the world too. I mean, there's so many issues in Europe and other parts as well, like Asia, Australia. I know everyone else is dealing with their own issues. It's not just a North American thing, but all this leads to insecurity, and that's not going to be a great thing for the Pokemon hobby. But it does mean we have a general idea of what's going to happen in the Pokemon hobby, at least in my opinion, right? People are going to turn to the better investments. They're going to get rid of things that they don't feel comfortable in. We're already seeing a mass sell-off of a lot of cards. And on the sealed side, we are seeing people focus on the better items from each era. For example, Sword and Shield era, Lost Origin, Fusion Strike, these haven't been hit as hard as some of the other sets. Fusion Strike has actually done better than Lost Origin. I think Lost Origin, you're probably down about 15% from all-time highs. Fusion, maybe you're like 10 to 12%-ish right now. Probably not even 12%, probably closer to 10. In the SV era, there are certain things doing better than others. For example, SV Base, it hasn't taken as large of a hit compared to some of the other sets like Paradox Rift. I think a lot of this has to do with it being the oldest set. They're not being as much out there. Something like Surging Sparks, kind of all over the place. We saw it up to $300. A lot of this has to do with the boxes being restocked at vending machines. But the largest surprise, in my opinion, when we look at the booster boxes is Destined Rivals. I mean, this has held steady at around $375, $380 for over a month at this point. We're only down 1%-ish, right? It's not really anything to worry about. I know people are kind of concerned about the big spike here in late September, but personally, I don't see this as a huge issue. This set is still moving. It's very popular, in demand. The cards in general inside of this are still doing well. They're not at all-time highs. The Mewtwo's back down to around $518 on TCG Player. But people in this hobby really value Destined Rivals, and that's kind of the reason why, unless there's a massive reprint, right, I don't see this box dropping that much anytime soon. Now, something that is getting hit hard and might continue to get hit is Paldean Fates. I'm not sure a lot of people realize this, but at its peak, this was about a $300 ETB back towards the end of September. And based on recent sales on TCG Player, we're fairly close to around $220 at this point, which is almost a 30% pullback in price from all-time highs. So it's kind of interesting to see this just because I thought we were at a place, at least with Paldean Fates, where it was kind of assumed to be one of the better sets in the Scarlet and Violet era. And now I'm not so sure if the market is actually agreeing with that. Maybe there was just a little bit too much hype for the Bubble Mew, for the Charizard EX. I know that there's, rumored reprints of Paldean Fates coming, but I don't really think those rumors are playing too much of a role in what's happening to this market price currently, especially getting close to like 220. It's basically in line with Crown Zenith at this point in terms of ETB value. So keep an eye on Paldean Fates over the next month or so to see what happens. And then the final thing I want to bring your attention to in this video is the Prismatic Evolutions SPC. I haven't really been paying attention to the news about the Costco bundles, but I heard something about these being like 2 for 150 US, like $75 a piece or something. If anyone has more information on that, definitely feel free to leave a comment down below. If that does happen, I mean, these are definitely going to continue to drop in price. They're sitting around $275 still. And I'm still a huge fan of this product. So if that is the real deal from Costco, I think that's going to be a great opportunity to load up on these for the future. Again, just remember that these are fairly large, which means they're going to be a bit more of a pain in the ass to ship and to store as well. But I think an SPC like this, the promo inside, Prismatic Evolutions, kind of seems like a no-brainer, especially if you're going to be able to get it for close to like, I don't know, 100, 125 bucks. But that's all I really wanted to talk about today. You guys let me know in the comments down below what you think. Am I on track, trying to apply broader market concerns to what we're seeing in the Pokemon hobby? Or is this just a bunch of irrelevant information? So thank you guys so much for watching the video. I hope you're having a great weekend. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Stay safe wherever you are in the world, and I'll catch you in the next one.